the child, like a group of children,
Mm-hmm.
one person, like yourself, or you can even pick a child, they start a story. Like they'll say the first sentence,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just want to go around the table. It can be like a very silly story, it doesn't all have to make sense. But what you want to do is have them just, they're basically engaged in it
Mm-hmm.
and interacting with it, and then that way they all play a part in the story.
Right.
And if you are not playing a part in the story, like if you have multiple children, then what you could do is write everything down.
Okay.
And then you could have them, like, depending on what the story is about, if they're old enough to write, they can write or draw a picture, and then you can have your story based around that. So I think that would be a good thing too.
Yeah.
Another thing is you can build a story around a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Like you can get a picture of anything and then just ask the children, well, what do you see? And if it's like an action picture, well, what do you think they're going to do in this picture? So I think that would be a fun way.
Yeah. Make up their own story.
Yeah, yeah. There are some important roles that are involved with reading stories, and they're developmental. Storytelling increases memory and language skills. This also triggers the child's imagination as they get older. And what they'll see, since they're using their imagination, they'll see things a whole lot differently than just the black and white picture that you have,
Right.
or anything like that. But it will also help the bond between the child and the caregiver. So, I mean, it's kind of like if you have a baby and every night you make it a point, no matter how small that they are, to read them a story before they fall asleep.
Right.
That gives you the bond with your child, and then that is something like a tradition that you're starting.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then stories can be passed down from generation to generation, so you can just keep the stories going. And timing can mean everything in telling a story. Like if they're in a real bad mood, and just
Right.
I would skip that for a couple minutes just to see why they're in, and then if it comes, that could also be a learning moment. You could turn that into something, like tell them a story about how you know a child that was really upset, and what they did was we talked and they felt better, kind of things like that.
Right.
When your child is bored, like I said earlier, just make up like an adventure, like a treasure chest or treasure hunt. This way it entertains them. One of the things that I thought for like an interaction would be something like going on a bear hunt.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so many movements that you can do with that story.
Right.
And then stories, you could also make them up when your child isn't doing something like eating. You could ask them why. Do you feel like your belly's not hungry, or anything like that? And then you can just like keep going with what they're telling you. And then one of the things, if you need some downtime, or the child is getting overstimulated or something, which I do not have with me, and I apologize, but like a CD, a book on CD, where if they need to be by themselves,
Right.
then they can just listen to the CD and flip through the book themselves.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good. And then, like I said, they felt bored. And then this is actually kind of a funny story. I did read it to another class, and they really enjoyed putting the pieces up as I was reading it, because then what they would do was look at the book and then put the character up on the board.
Right.
And then I had actually put together some references.
Oh, thank you.
These are some of the references that I used for this project, and there is a lot of information on there
Okay.
that I think is very helpful. Do you have any questions?
I don't think so. This has been very helpful. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So, is there anything like that sticks out to you more than others that you would actually like to try?
I think that this felt board is a really cute idea because, like you said, if you have a group of kids, it's nice to like give an animal to each of the kids, and then that way they each kind of have a part in the book. So I thought that was a really cute idea to get them all kind of interacting, and instead of just sitting there listening to you
Right.
talk, it's like they kind of get excited for their turn and have to pay attention to see when it's their time to take the animal up. So I thought that was a cute idea.
Okay.